Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video, and in this video we're going to be looking at this set, which is 5988. I believe it has two names. One is the Pharaoh's Forbidden Temple, and the second name it goes by, the Pharaoh's Forbidden Ruins, and the second one is the Temple of Anubis. So take your pick. To me, it probably makes more sense to be known as the Temple of Anubis because there are two statues of Anubis at the back of the temple. But this is from the Jonny Thunder series. I believe it was the biggest set that was released in the Jonny Thunder series. It has just over 700 pieces, but it's actually a really big 700 pieces because there are some really big pieces in the set. But it comes in four main pieces, so I'm going to look at these one by one. And we're going to start with the hot air balloon. So this is the hot air balloon that we have here. And firstly, the way that they got this effect is there are two large semi-spherical plastic pieces here at the top and the bottom, and then as you can probably see there's a Technic rod that runs through the middle of that, and then this net is held together by an elastic band that then runs in and wraps around this Technic rod on the top. So a little bit fiddly. I actually got this second hand, so I was quite glad to not have to do that, but I'm sure it's not that bad. But yeah, I think it looks okay. It's probably about as good as you could get for, a Lego build. But there you go. So here we have just some rope ladders upside down in black. And then we have inside there a pretty realistic looking, what would you call that, furnace? Burner? I'm not sure of the technical name of that. And then there is a little rod underneath there, and then we also have these, which I believe are meant to represent sandbags. They're just monotone grey Lego heads. So yeah, pretty realistic. And then you got that connected to like a gas tank, and that is the build. So pretty realistic looking build. You can actually take a hot air balloon ride in Egypt. It's quite popular. So that's that there. And then we have the truck. And this is actually a really nice looking truck. It kind of looks like something from the early 1900s. I don't really like this front, how this just is very sort of loose. I don't know why they didn't build that up a little bit more. It's a little bit awkward looking, but it's not too bad. You do get this little front piece which has a little crack on the window and the dust, so it looks very realistic the way they did that. And then the front again just looks like a kind of vintage car. This part here is actually all one piece, so you can't actually open the doors, which is a little bit of a shame, but not a big deal. I think I actually changed the design of that. I think the steering wheel was actually meant to be on one side, and then you've only got one lever, but I think I had a spare, so I just put two levers in. You got a couple of seats there, and then the back you get heaps of accessories. So you get a rifle, binoculars, is that a stick of dynamite? You get a sword, and a cup, and a pickaxe. So heaps of accessories in there, and then you do get a number plate. I'm not sure if that's meant to mean anything. It's probably the designer probably used the initials of them or their daughter or something, I don't know, but I don't think it's meant to be some sort of secret puzzle for the set. But yeah, that looks quite realistic, and you do get a chain. I'm not sure exactly what that's meant to be used for, but I guess you can use your imagination with that. So let's now have a look at the main facade or front of the temple, and I don't think this is meant to represent any particular temple in Egypt. It does kind of look like something that you'd see in Karnak, but I don't think it's meant to be exactly representative of anything. And the first thing I want to say is that all of these kind of things that you see here are printed. There are no stickers in this set, which is really nice. And also all of these are unique pieces. They are not replicated. There are a couple more on the back. So we also have an obelisk here with the cartouche. So cartouche is the name of somebody very important, usually the pharaoh, with a round sort of border around it. So we have the obelisk here with 2 cartouches, which is really nice that they added that. And then you can see there are 4 large panels with some more hieroglyphs and things, and I could probably talk about those for 5 minutes, but you can tell that it actually is quite realistic. You can see here the crown of the pharaoh with both the upper and lower Egypt combined. Upper Egypt being actually southern Egypt because the Nile runs north to south. Yeah, you've got the Ankh, A-N-K-H, which symbolizes eternal life. You've got the Eye of Horus, Anubis, the jackal-headed god of death, and then you've got Horus over here. You've got Scarab. You've got the canoes that they used on the Nile. So they do have a special name, which I forget. So yeah, you can tell that they've really done a lot of research. And this also here is something realistic that you often see in the Valley of the Kings, on something printed on or painted on the roofs of the temple. So they've gone to a lot of trouble and effort in doing all that. And then you do get plenty of birds as well. And then you also get this large. Actually, I don't think that piece is meant to. That clear blue piece is meant to be there, but. But yeah, and that mold is used on the pharaoh's sarcophagus, which I will show later. But yeah, overall looks very nice. There's also a little campfire in there, and you do get a backpack that actually does open, but you can't really fit anything in there. So it looks quite realistic all in all. And then this is actually, I have to admit, I didn't originally realize, but this is actually meant to be like a lion's face. So these are the eyes and the nose, and then you've got the mouth with the teeth to the entrance. So that's probably the only kind of non-Egyptian authentic looking thing. I will point out though as well, I don't really like these light grey. I can live with the dark grey, but light grey just seems like concrete, and they of course did not have concrete in ancient Egypt. So this is the back. And again, we have 2 cartouches here that are different. And arguably the most important part of the set here is the Pharaoh's sarcophagus. So that is the same mold as the front, which is fine, but some really nice printing on that. And I will show the Pharaoh at the end when I show all the minifigs. So we'll just get him out of the way for later. So the very simple kind of story here is that you come through here, and then what's meant to happen is this axe falls and it pulls, well, and then you pull this pin out and the rocks fall. So that's the idea with that. And then you have a couple of ladders, empty room in here. Not sure why they use yellow, but you can't really see it anyway from the outside. So then you walk up here, and then there is another trapdoor. And then finally, if you survive all that, you can get to the treasure chest, and you get some, what do you get in there? Some gold coins and a skeleton arm. And then there are also 2 skeletons on the side of the sort of entrance walkway. So they are the play features for that. So then let's look at the final build of the set. So this is the kind of back courtyard. As you can see, it sits on a separate base. And it's pretty much symmetrical. So we have 2 grey crocodiles with some printing there. It's not, I don't think it's actually meant to represent any language. And you get a black cup and 2 red semi-transparent pieces and green on the other side. Again, I don't think it's meant to represent any particular thing, so you can use your imagination with that. And then we have so what's meant to happen here, and I don't really see how it works, but you sit this little ruby on this blue part here, and then you turn this around with the skeleton, and what's meant to happen, I think, is you put this down low, and the magnetic force is supposed to flip this around, and that sticks on, but it doesn't really work that well, to be honest, but I think that's the idea. So this is the 2 statues of Anubis, and it's quite ingenious how they use just very standard pieces to actually create something that looks quite realistic. And that's pretty much it for that build. And then you can see this sort of wall on the outside, but it looks, again, quite authentic, quite nice. Plenty of animals. You get spider and snake, scorpion, and all that sort of stuff. So quite a nice build. So let's have a look at the minifigures. So you get 10 minifigures in this set, including the skeletons. So as I showed you, there's 1 skeleton at the back there, and then 2 on the entrance walking into the temple. So, and you get heaps of animals. So I'm not even going to include those. So there's the two skeletons. So then we have this female figure, and she's actually holding a recorder with some, looks like a photo or something like that, and I believe her name is Miss Gale Storm. And then here we have Sam Sinister with his top hat. So pretty standard minifigure for this age, with no back printing and double faces and all that sort of stuff. Jonny Thunder, who's the hero of the set. Now this guy is listed as Dr. Charlie Lighting, but I always thought he was Dr. Kilpatrick, so I'm not sure what his name is, but anyway. And you do get a real, this actually is a real magnifying glass, and he's holding a little map. And then this is Baron von Baron. And then the Pharaoh. I don't know what you guys think of this. I think if you take this part off, he probably doesn't look that Egyptian. He almost looks samurai with this front part on, but I don't know. And then we also had the, if I can get him out, our pilot. And I've wrecked his helmet on the way out, but that's what he looks like. So just very quickly, I will show the box, because I do actually have the box, and it is a very big box. So that's what it looks like. And if I turn it around the back, that's what it looks like on the back. And then there's actually some nice printing around the sides. I know it's upside down, but so yeah. And then you do get that in there, and then also there is some printing on the inside of the lid. But yeah, very big box. As I said, it's a very big 700 and something pieces. And then just finally, I will show I actually got this catalog with this, so you can see the different sets in this particular series. Don't know why they made the Sphinx in that color grey. Kind of wrecked the set, but anyway. And then this is the manual, so pretty standard manual. Nice printing though, it looks like it's printed on papyrus or something like that. So, but yeah, overall I think this is a fantastic set, you know, I really do. I think it looks very realistic. I mean, a lot of the new Lego stuff, you know, medieval becomes Nexo Knights and ninjas becomes Ninjago and all this sort of stuff. But to me, I really like how this just, it feels authentic. You know, the skeletons on the wall and maybe the lion's face, maybe not so authentic, but I still feel that actually adds to this set. Heaps of minifigures, you know, really good attention to detail. Playability is fantastic. I really think this is a fantastic set. I've always been interested in Egypt, Egyptian culture and history, and I've been to Egypt, and to me just overall this feels like a fantastic set. But I'd love to know what you guys think about it. Please leave a comment in the section below. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed the video.